What's up, investors? Welcome to episode 3 of the MegaCharts stock analysis channel. Today we're going to be using MegaCharts software to analyze the original gangster of the software as a service market, Salesforce. Before we dive into the financials though, I'm going to give you a little background on the company. Salesforce is a huge innovator in the software space. Founded in 1999, they were the first to offer their software in the cloud. Before that, if you wanted to buy software, you had to buy a CD or something like that and download it onto the computer. So with Salesforce, they were the first to offer the software in the cloud or basically over the internet. Salesforce has dozens of product offerings, including Slack, which you've probably heard of, like an instant messenger for companies, Tableau, which is used to display data, MuleSoft, which is an API platform, meaning that it can connect two or more totally different software systems. But Salesforce's core product is its CRM, or Customer Relationship Management System. There are other CRMs in the market, but none by far are so heavily used in the Fortune 1000 ecosystem as Salesforce. And because customers are at the center of every business, Salesforce's software is at the heart of the enterprise technology stack. And companies usually spend more and more money with Salesforce every year and adding more of their products. Okay, so now that you know the basics, let's dive into the financials. The first thing I want to talk about is revenue growth. In 2013, Salesforce's revenue was just over $3 billion. And in 2023, 10 years later, Salesforce's revenue is over $31 billion. That's over a 10x increase in just 10 years, which isn't a lot for a small company, but for a company the size of Salesforce, that's just phenomenal. Second thing I want to talk about is operating income. So until 2016, Salesforce went back and forth between losing a little money and making a little money. That started to change in 2016. Since that year, Salesforce has positive operating income every single year. But here's where it gets crazy. Between 2020 and 2022, Salesforce had around 400 to mid 500 million in operating income. But what happens in 2023? Salesforce nearly quadruples its operating income up to almost $1.9 billion. Now let's talk about the Rule of 40, which is the golden standard that venture capitalists look at when evaluating technology companies. This rule states that revenue growth plus free cash flow margin, if it's over 40, that means it's a top company. So first, looking at revenue growth for 2023, Salesforce sits right around 18%. Scrolling down to free cash flow margin for 2023, we see that Salesforce is right at 20%, right around 20%. So we're at around 38 or 39%, just under the Rule of 40. But here's the thing. 2023 was an incredibly hard year for technology companies. Enterprise software spend exploded during COVID, and then that decreased heavily in 2023. So I still think these numbers are impressive, especially when you factor in the huge push to profitability Salesforce made in 2023. Let's talk about debt next. So from a debt to equity ratio, you can see that Salesforce is doing really well and moving in the right direction. The debt to equity ratio peaked in 2014 for Salesforce when it was almost 1-to-1, but it's come down substantially. And today they have a debt to equity ratio of around 23%, which is not that high, especially when you consider their profitability metrics are growing very quickly. So this is debt that Salesforce will be able to manage and maybe even pay down completely. Okay, so you're probably convinced by now that Salesforce is a great company, but is it a great time to buy Salesforce stock? Diving into revenue to market cap ratio, we see that in 2023, Salesforce is slightly lower than previous years, but not drastically lower like other technology companies such as Tesla and Snowflake. What I think this graph shows mainly is that Salesforce stock grows pretty consistently with its revenue, and a caveat being that it's potentially at a discount right now. Again, especially when you factor in the drastically increased operating income. Salesforce is almost a $270 billion market cap company as of today. I think it has the potential to grow into the next Microsoft and be a $2 or $3 trillion company. This is not financial advice. Nothing in here is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just showing you how you can evaluate this company using the data on MegaCharts and then giving you my own personal opinion. Outside of the financials, Salesforce has a great CEO. Mark Benioff started his career at Oracle, where he quickly rose through the ranks and became Oracle's youngest ever vice president. After Oracle, Mark went on a spiritual journey to India like Steve Jobs, then came back to San Francisco to start Salesforce. Mark has been with Salesforce since the beginning and has never left. I also think recent advancements in AI are going to benefit Salesforce incredibly, given that their technology stack is at the center of customer operations, aka the business revenue source. Salesforce has a huge potential to provide value via AI in a non-theoretical, real, and practical way. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you want to do your own research on stocks like I just did, visit megacharts.com and make a profile. Peace out.